Chosen ones. With every rejection, you rose stronger. With every closed door, you found another path. They thought they could diminish you, silence you, break you, but they underestimated the fire within. Every setback became your fuel, every no a spark, every loss a lesson. You didn't just survive, you transformed, evolving into someone they could never control, someone unstoppable. Your power didn't awaken in spite of walking away. It ignited, because you chose to let go. Every step you took out of their broken systems was a declaration of freedom, a rebellion that birthed the raw, unfiltered essence of who you are. Each refusal to conform, each moment you turned your back on their rules, was the universe rewiring your destiny. You weren't just walking away. You were walking toward the unstoppable force you were always meant to become. They believed they were breaking you, but instead, they were forging an unstoppable force. Every attempt to dim your light only sharpened your brilliance, turning you into something they could never comprehend. Your presence was a disruption, a cosmic signal that shook the foundations of their complacency. With every step you took, you carried the weight of universes, a living testament to what happens when greatness refuses to be contained. Your existence was a mirror they couldn't bear to face, reflecting the emptiness of their choices and the hollow shells they had become. While they clung to the shadows of comfort and conformity, your brilliance illuminated truths they desperately tried to ignore. Every word you spoke carried the weight of originality, every creation a testament to the divine fire within you. They envied the spark they had long extinguished, knowing deep down they could never replicate the radiance that came so naturally to you. Your true self was a force they couldn't comprehend, a radiant reflection that exposed the cracks in their carefully curated illusions. Every step you took, every truth you spoke, sent ripples through the fragile worlds they had built on pretense. Your confidence wasn't something learned or borrowed, it was an unshakable alignment with your higher calling, a power they could neither replicate nor contain. You didn't just challenge their reality, you rewrote it, leaving them to grapple with the emptiness behind their masks. They pushed you out because your brilliance was a threat to the fragile ecosystem they had built on compromise and smallness. Your success, uncontained and unapologetic, was a dangerous reminder that their limitations were self-imposed. You were a living contradiction to their rules, a walking testament that thriving didn't require sacrifice of authenticity. They couldn't let you stay because your presence alone inspired others to question why they had settled for less, why they had chosen to fold themselves into corners when they were meant to take up space. Your presence was a revolution they couldn't contain, a living testament to the infinite possibilities they were too afraid to claim. What they framed as rejection was really their surrender, an admission that they couldn't exist in the same orbit as someone who dared to shine so brightly. They thought they were closing doors, but every exit they orchestrated became a portal to something greater. You didn't just rise, you soared, carried by the fire they tried to extinguish, but only managed to ignite. Your essence wasn't fleeting or fragile, it was an eternal blueprint of creation, a vibrational masterpiece they could never replicate or unravel. Your radiance was a harmony they couldn't fathom, a seamless blend of authenticity and magnetism that laid bare their disjointed attempts to piece themselves together. They watched, envious and bewildered, as the universe seemed to conspire in your favor, effortlessly bringing opportunities and blessings to your doorstep while they toiled in vain. Your ease reminded them of the battles they fought within themselves, the quiet wars over self-worth, the unspoken doubts about their right to receive. You didn't just trigger their insecurities, you illuminated the path they were too afraid to walk, the truth they were unwilling to face, that abundance isn't chased, it's embodied. Hear this truth etched into the fabric of existence. True abundance aligns with those who dare to break free from the cages of conformity and lack. When you turned your back on their scarcity-driven systems, you declared your worth to the cosmos itself. By rejecting their limits, you unlocked infinite possibilities, and the universe responded in kind, pouring its riches into the spaces you made by letting go. Your courage to trust the unseen, to release the illusion of safety, was the key that activated divine overflow, provision not measured by their standards, but by the limitless potential of your own boundless spirit. What they called giving up was actually your evolution, a shedding of scarcity to rise into realms where abundance flows effortlessly. Each step away from their poisonous spaces was a step toward your own sovereignty, a reclamation of the power they tried to suppress. With every so-called failure, you sharpened your vision and strengthened your resolve, transforming their rejection into the foundation of your empire. You weren't just leaving, you were elevating, ascending to a reality where wealth, joy, and success were no longer earned through suffering, but embraced as your inherent birthright. The moment you reclaimed your power, the energy they had drained from you came rushing back, amplified by the alchemy of your growth. What they stole in desperation was never truly theirs. It was merely borrowed, awaiting its rightful return to you. The universe, ever just and precise, rewards those who live in alignment with their truth. Where they chased illusions, you embodied authenticity, and the cosmos responded in kind, redirecting streams of abundance, opportunities, and blessings toward you. Energy flows where integrity lives, and your unwavering commitment to your essence unlocked a prosperity they could never touch. Abundance finds its home in those who remain steadfast in their authenticity, unshaken by the false promises of comfort and conformity. While their limited minds clung to the safety of mediocrity, you saw the vast expanse of potential waiting beyond their narrow definitions of success. By daring to release the hollow securities they worshipped, you made space for treasures they couldn't comprehend: freedom, purpose, and boundless opportunities. It wasn't loss, it was liberation, a sacred exchange where you gave up what was fleeting to claim what was eternal. The universe had been silently orchestrating your rise, aligning forces to honor your bravery with blessings beyond comprehension. What they dismissed as chaos, the cosmos celebrated as your willingness to flow with divine timing. Each ending you embraced wasn't a failure, but a sacred transformation, shedding old skins to reveal your truest form. Their judgment was irrelevant. Where they saw instability, the universe saw strength. Every closed door was a redirection toward your destiny, every rejection a divine refinement. What they thought was your downfall was the unraveling of illusions, making way for the triumphant emergence of your most authentic, abundant self. What they called failure was the universe's way of redirecting you toward a destiny too vast for their limited perspective to comprehend. They couldn't grasp that walking away from their hollow definitions of success was not surrender, but strategy, a bold move toward uncharted abundance. While they played checkers, the universe was playing chess, aligning every setback, every detour, as part of a master plan they were blind to. Each so-called loss was a calculated step toward victories beyond their imagination, positioning you to claim wealth and freedom in ways that completely transcended their broken systems. The instant you released the weight of their judgment, the cosmos responded in kind, rearranging itself to match your newfound vibration. By choosing yourself over their approval, you became a magnet for everything real, everything aligned. Your indifference to their expectations radiated as pure, unshakable power, drawing in people, opportunities, and energies that resonated with your truth. What once felt like isolation transformed into sovereignty, and your orbit became a sanctuary for authenticity, where only those in harmony with your light could remain. This wasn't defiance, it was the unwavering acknowledgement of your inherent worth, a declaration that you would no longer settle for anything less than what you deserved. The moment you stopped seeking validation, the world began to seek you. Your ability to walk away from anything misaligned wasn't a weakness, it was your greatest leverage, a quiet confidence they could never replicate. The strength of someone who has already chosen themselves is unshakable, untouchable. While desperation scatters energy, your self-assuredness became a beacon, drawing in opportunities and abundance that resonated with the limitless frequency of your sovereignty. Chosen ones, before we move forward, I want you to stop for a second and take an action like the video and subscribe to the Lumination Inner Order, because your support means two things. First, it helps us continue the hard work to keep you informed about your greatness, and second, it shows to the universe that you are aligned with your purpose, and you affirm that power to yourself as this video calling you to rise. The storms that once sought to break you have become the very force propelling you forward into your purpose. You've shed the chains of fear, transcended limitations, and unearthed the unstoppable force that has always resided within you. No longer are you waiting for permission or change. You are the change, the spark igniting a revolution of light and truth. Every action you take now sends ripples of transformation through the universe. Doubt has no place here. This is your time to step boldly into your destiny, to claim your purpose with unapologetic conviction, and to inspire others to do the same. The movement begins with you. Stand tall in your power, shine your light fiercely, and let your fire ignite the world. The call has been made. Answer it, share, rise, and awaken the legacy within you. $1,000,000 opportunities began chasing you relentlessly, drawn to the fire you once thought was too much for their world. The bridges you burned became the fuel for the foundations of empires you never imagined building. What they labeled as defiance was actually your blueprint for creation, a force too vast for their narrow systems to contain. The same untamed energy that made you unfit for their rules made you indispensable in realms where greatness isn't just welcomed, but required. Your unapologetic essence became fertile ground, like cosmic stardust birthing new galaxies, where your vision could thrive without limits. They thought isolation would break you, but instead, it became the crucible where your greatness was forged. In the quiet, you discovered parts of yourself they could never touch, skills that defied logic, and a confidence that needed no approval. What they dismissed as arrogance was simply your refusal to accept mediocrity, your excellence unapologetically demanding space to breathe. Their inability to understand you was the clearest sign that you were operating on a frequency far beyond their reach. Your power wasn't something you created to please others. It was the raw, unfiltered essence of who you are, finally unleashed. You stopped chasing validation and instead became undeniable. You stepped out of the shadows of their expectations and into the light of your own magnificence, drawing everything meant for you effortlessly into your orbit. You no longer dimmed your light to make others comfortable. Instead, you turned it into a beacon, illuminating paths of endless creation. This decision sent shockwaves through realms unseen, rewriting your destiny with every unapologetic step. By severing ties with those who thrived on your energy without reciprocation, you reclaimed the vitality that had been stolen for generations. Your devotion to honoring your own frequency over their expectations unlocked realities where your brilliance was not only accepted, but exalted. Choosing solitude over dilution of your essence became the catalyst for discovering your soul-aligned tribe, those who didn't just accept your power, but amplified it. Together, you created a symphony of aligned purpose, shattering limitations and awakening new possibilities across dimensions. Every door you closed wasn't an ending. It was a declaration to the universe that you were ready for more. The moment you chose yourself over the illusion of security, the quantum field shifted in your favor, rearranging realities to match your newfound clarity. Your departures weren't acts of rebellion, they were acts of alignment, each one carving a direct path toward your highest good. With every toxic connection you released, your spirit ascended to vibrations that could only magnetize the extraordinary. The glow you carry now, a radiance that no one can ignore, is the undeniable evidence of a soul no longer weighed down by energy thieves. You didn't just leave behind what drained you, you stepped into a version of yourself that thrives, creating a ripple effect of abundance wherever you go. The glow on your skin, the fire in your gaze, and the effortless grace in your step were not accidents. They were the physical embodiment of a liberated soul. These shifts weren't surface level. They were the tangible results of your decision to reclaim your energy and direct it toward creation rather than depletion. The moment you stopped seeking validation from those who could never see your worth, your essence expanded and your gifts flourished. What once felt like effort now flows effortlessly as your creativity became an unstoppable force, fueled by the pure, untapped power of your own alignment. You're no longer surviving, you're radiating, thriving, and creating worlds from the overflow of your reclaimed energy. The dreams you once abandoned in the shadows of their expectations now bloom with unstoppable force, vibrant and alive in the newfound space you've claimed. Freed from the weight of their constraints, your imagination soared, resurrecting visions that had been buried but never truly lost. From the rubble of their attempts to confine you, your authenticity rose like a phoenix, untamed and undeniable. Each firm boundary you set became a declaration of self-respect, each no a powerful act of self-preservation. With every step away from their limitations, your energy field amplified, radiating a frequency that only those aligned with your truth could resonate with. What they once called defiance is now recognized as brilliance, and your refusal to conform has become the signature of your greatness. As the old layers shed, you uncovered a sharper, more intuitive version of yourself, one who could see through facades with crystal clarity. Every goodbye became a lesson, sharpening your discernment and teaching you to honor what truly nourished your soul. You grew attuned to the subtle frequencies of authenticity, effortlessly identifying connections that uplifted versus those that drained. Your instincts became your compass, guiding you away from the snares of manipulation and into spaces of genuine alignment. With each toxic tie severed, your field of energy strengthened, magnetizing only those who resonated with your truth. What once felt like loss now feels like liberation as your real tribe gathers, unshakable, aligned, and ready to build a future worthy of your light. Your mastery of release unlocked doors that once seemed sealed, turning endings into beginnings and losses into opportunities. By surrendering the need to cling, you stepped into a flow where abundance could move freely toward you, unburdened by resistance. You learned that true prosperity isn't about possession, but about alignment, a state where giving and receiving are seamless. Each time you walked away from what no longer served you, the universe responded with gifts far greater than what you left behind. Letting go became your superpower, a magnetic force that drew in wealth, joy, and opportunities, not as fleeting rewards, but as natural extensions of your trust in life's infinite possibilities. You understood that stepping back wasn't surrender, it was strategy. Every exit you made was a calculated move, a quiet declaration that you would not waste your energy in battles unworthy of your strength. What others saw as retreat was, in truth, the art of repositioning, a preparation for triumphs they couldn't foresee. By walking away, you reclaimed control, shifting the dynamics in ways that left others scrambling to catch up. This wasn't just power, it was wisdom, the kind that can't be taught in classrooms or boardrooms. Your ability to choose your battles and walk away from the rest became your signature, a mark of someone who doesn't chase victories, they create them. Your detachment from outcomes became your ultimate power, granting you the clarity to see moves others couldn't even imagine. You operated with the precision of a chess master, not just thinking steps ahead, but navigating entire dimensions of possibility. This fearless embrace of risk wasn't recklessness, it was mastery, born from the unshakable knowledge of your worth. You no longer chased validation or begged for alignment. Instead, you stood firm, rooted in your value, an immovable force in a world of uncertainty. Those who couldn't meet your standard fell away by their own limitations, while those who could rose to match your brilliance. You didn't just play the game, you redefined the board. Your ability to embrace the blank slate became your greatest asset, transforming every ending into a foundation for something greater. Starting over wasn't a setback, it was your superpower, a testament to your unshakable resilience and visionary mindset. Each exit wasn't just a departure, but a recalibration, a doorway into untapped potential and limitless opportunities. The struggles you endured in toxic spaces forged a rare kind of wisdom, the type of insight that can only be earned through fire and grit. You didn't just survive those challenges, you alchemized them into strategies for building wealth and empires. With every reset, you proved that true power lies not in what you possess, but in your ability to create again and again, no matter the odds. Through trial by fire, you emerged as an untouchable force, immune to the snares of manipulation and dysfunction. Your experiences sharpened your intuition into a finely tuned instrument, capable of decoding the unseen patterns beneath even the most polished facades. You became a master of reading energy, detecting hidden agendas, spotting false promises, and recognizing traps long before they could ensnare you. What others call instinct, you wield as strategy, moving with precision through even the most tangled systems. Betrayals no longer wound you, they educate you. Toxicity no longer intimidates you, it reveals itself as a blueprint you've already memorized. You're not just resilient, you're untouchable, navigating life with a cosmic awareness that turns every challenge into an opportunity for expansion. You've become the system's greatest anomaly, the one they cannot control, predict, or defeat. Your financial acumen wasn't handed to you in a lecture hall, it was forged in the crucible of survival. You didn't just memorize theories, you lived them, learning to dissect business structures and leadership flaws with unerring precision because your livelihood depended on it. The world that couldn't contain you labeled you unhireable, but in truth you simply outgrew their limited frameworks. What they saw as rebellion was actually brilliance, a refusal to conform to mediocrity. Now, in spaces where authenticity and excellence reign, you are a rare and irreplaceable force. Your demand for truth, your insistence on high standards, and your ability to see through facades aren't just advantages. They're your superpowers, positioning you as an unstoppable force in a higher-order economy where value is built, not borrowed. Your unwillingness to shrink for the comfort of others became your greatest gift, a beacon for those building with purpose and integrity. You refused to dim your light to fit into spaces designed for mediocrity, and in doing so, you exposed the illusions propping up their fragile systems. What they called defiance was actually your divine clarity, an unyielding commitment to truth in a world addicted to compromise. Your boundaries were not walls, but mirrors, reflecting the choices they had made to trade authenticity for convenience. Every time you stood firm, you reminded them of the power they had surrendered, the dreams they had abandoned, and the potential they had buried. It wasn't your presence that threatened them. It was the possibility that others might see the truth in you and awaken. Where they saw rebellion, the universe saw revolution. And where they saw a threat, true leaders saw a rare force of transformation.